They say to predict the future, you need to create it. This is the startup where we inspire businesses. Welcome, Joyce.
Thank you.
How did you start the business?
Helium Balloon Company was born out of a lot of tears, heartache and pain. I had a campaign I had run for a client. My background is in marketing, so I had pitched to one of our very big companies locally, and we ran a campaign for them that involved the use of helium and helium balloons. So we did this campaign, and the reception was more than we anticipated, but the client was not happy about it. So at the end of this entire campaign thing, we ended up with 3 tanks of almost full helium tanks. Yeah, and we didn't know what to do with them. And I remember the day that the event ended, the promotion that we're running ended, I was so frustrated. We had been arrested by City Council. I was arraigned in court. I was taken to a cell. I was put in those vehicles for City Council. It was so embarrassing, so stressful, so frustrating. We had to pay the council for fines that I didn't anticipate that we were going to get. So at the end of this whole thing, I was extremely frustrated. I remember getting home and I cried in the shower, and I entered bed and I said, I'm going to live my life in my bed. And my family had to have an intervention after about a week.
I usually call it the entrepreneurial prayer.
Yes. So my mom and my aunties called me from wherever they were from the States, and they just started to encourage me and tell me it's not the end, So much money had gone down the drain, and here I was with, 3 cylinders of huge tanks that I didn't know what to do with now, and a very frustrated spirit. But after about 8 months of them sitting, just sitting in my backyard, I decided to just dispose of the gas and take the tanks back to the supplier. So I started slowly. I started selling. I just started talking to people and saying, hey, I can sell you helium balloons. I think I was selling them at 150 shillings that time. And then I began to realize people actually want these things. So slowly by slowly, after I began to sell them, and I expended the gas. So now I had empty tanks, and I was thinking, okay, so should I take them back or should I keep selling them? So then I began to think seriously about this being a business. So I did my research in the market. I tried to find out how many people are doing this as well. And I found there are not so many suppliers of helium balloons. And I got in touch with the company that had supplied the gas to me. They had run out of gas. So now I'm thinking about doing it seriously, but there's no gas available. So I went into further research, found another company that supplies it. In fact, they had smaller tanks. I had a bit of money I had saved up. So I decided, let me start with a small tank, and I'll do this as a serious business. So just that was about 2014. So I did that, and I kept selling and replacing the gas. And then I realized, okay, I could do this as an official business. So then 2015 in May, I registered Helium Balloon Company officially, and then just began to put the structures together, and through a lot of mistakes as well, because one time you sell to a client, they refuse to pay you, or they delay in the payment, or they say the service wasn't delivered the way they expected. So I lost money, I learned lessons, I built the structures, and I kept going on like that.
I'm watching at home. Mm-hmm. I'm asking myself, what are helium balloons?
They are different. They look different. They are extremely attractive. I found them very interesting to work with as well. When you set up a space with helium balloons, you will find that whereas you just put, for example, air balloons on a surface or on the ground, these ones, when they float in the air, it gives the place a different kind of ambience. And it's also very exciting to work with. And children love them. Love them completely. Where you find they love regular balloons, they absolutely love helium balloons.
Who is your target client?
We have targeted across the board, we've targeted parties for children, we've targeted corporate events, we've targeted corporates in terms of also corporate branding for promotional items for the same kind of balloons. So they can do even air or helium balloons for these corporate events. We have serviced clients who are doing funerals, we've done celebrations, we've done graduation occasions, we've done all sorts of events. So if whatever event or occasion a person has, we can supply helium balloons. Yes.
Is this the only product or service that you have?
We focus only on balloons. We have partners though who help us to create a more complete theme. For example, if we're doing a themed party, we will bring in the themed balloons, but our partners will bring in the themed plates and cups and other items like that. But we are primarily only doing helium balloons and air balloons. We're only doing balloons. So we've gone to the extent in the market of seeing who else is supplying the same kind of balloons. We've learned a lot about what is available, and we found an opportunity for us to create a market for a product that has been developed by a local entity, where we found all the helium balloons we could get are from UK, are from Mexico. We don't have any Kenyan who's doing this. We don't even have a manufacturing plant for balloons, but you find it's a fast-moving consumer good. So all of us are getting our supply from outside of this country. So I have purposed to be the first person, the first company to set up a manufacturing plant. With the balloons that we supply, we will set up whatever kind of theme you have. We have all the colors that are available, but they're standard colors, where you'll find purple has maybe 5 different shades. You'll find maybe only 2 available with balloons. But when we come into a venue, we want to understand what kind of setup you want to have. If you're considering also making it exciting for the children, can we give the same balloons to the kids to play with, and so on and so forth. So in terms of decor, we can do anything. We can create balloon arcs, we can do balloon decor and create whatever you want. It could be a cartoon shape, it could be flowers, whatever it is, we can create it for you. If you can think about it, we can create it in balloon form. Yes.
And that motivation to do it.
Yes.
Now, Joyce, since you started,
yes,
from the ideation period to now the setup,
yes,
what challenges have you encountered?
Oh, so many. Let me start by skilled staff. Helium itself is extremely expensive to buy. So when you use it, you have to be very careful if you're going to make the margins that you need to make. So to get people who are very keen on that kind of detail, of not using too much gas so that the balloon bursts and you have a lot of wastage, meaning the balloons are wasted, the gas is wasted, you've lost money, so you can't recover it. Yeah, so one of the challenges I've faced is getting skilled personnel who pay that kind of attention to the use of the materials and the equipment and the gas itself. The other challenge I've faced is before we had created the structures that we needed to, we got clients who would just refuse to pay, and if they refuse to pay, that's that.
That's true.
The money has gone. Yeah, but it has shaped us and it has helped us to really brush up on our processes. So we're very keen on noting down what the order is, making sure we confirm with the clients, making sure they sign a delivery note once we deliver the goods. So then if we're going to go into any legal proceedings, there's evidence of work that was done. We take photos and we do. So we've really, really brushed up on our processes. Yes, so that we avoid that kind of loss in the future.
Lessons learned?
Lessons learned is structures are very important when you're starting out.
Even if
you will
save,
even though you're a startup. Also, growing the business has been a challenge because I have basically been running it by myself from my house. The balloon business itself, without enough client base coming in or enough money coming in, you can't really say that you're going to get an office, you're going to hire staff, and so on and so forth. But I've learned now that if you can create a hiring structure that allows you to grow the business and not be so strained financially, then you will benefit, because you will get someone, especially in business development, who can go out and their sole purpose is to find the clients that you're looking for, and you become because I'm the vision bearer, I have all these ideas that I have thought up about how we can expand. We're opening shop in Uganda, we're opening shop in Mombasa. We are technically, I would say, the largest supplier of helium balloons currently. We're planning to open shop in Rwanda once they have gas supply on that end, and we have all these things that we are trying to do. We have a partner in UK who helps us with the resourcing of our materials, and we're trying to stay ahead of the game so that we are the go-to people for all things balloon. Yes. So one of the lessons I've learned now is to hire the right position and structure that position so that you don't incur too much cost, but you're able to get the kind of returns that you're looking for. So the business can grow, you can focus on what you are good at, they can do what they're good at, and everyone is happy. Yes.
Okay. What advice can you give other people who want to venture into entrepreneurship? Or they are there, but
yes,
the tidings are very tough.
I will say, one, entrepreneurship is not for everyone, for sure. I think you need a certain character and heart to be an entrepreneur. It can be extremely stressful, it can be frustrating. You'll find that more often than not you are crying and trying to find solace. But if you are able to stick through it, it's like birth pains. If you're able to stick through it and see it through, you will be extremely happy at the end of the day. When you begin to see the fruit of your labor, you will thank God that you did what you did. You will appreciate every moment that you felt you wanted to give up, and you still stayed on. And when you begin to see the fruit of your labor, it's so rewarding. That's the fulfillment that you get. I am very keen on branching out into other countries. As I've mentioned before, we are setting up in Uganda, we're setting up in Rwanda, we have a partner in the UK, we have a partner in the US. Also, we started very recently retailing our own brand because we want to be authentically Kenyan, and we want Kenyans to know that they can come up with their own brand, and eventually we're going to start to manufacture these locally. So I'm really venturing out. I've taken huge risks. I've done so much. I'll be going to China soon to go and look at the manufacturing plants there and see how it's possible to bring this to Africa, to Kenya. Yes, and spearhead this.
I wish your company all the best.
Thank you so much.
Joyce will succeed.
I will.
Resilience that you have.
I will. Thank you so much.
Asante sana.
I appreciate it.